We are going to study Python software development using the Python language. I hope you can see the screen. Okay, so what we are supposed to do right now is the first topic is downloading and installing Python, the Python software, and just a quick one. I'm just going to go through the installation, the downloading and installation. Now, Python is an open source software, then a programming language that allows you to develop software. Now, we can use Python to develop desktop apps, mobile apps, and then combine with a couple of frameworks to also develop websites. So I was saying that we can use Python programming language to develop desktop software, mobile apps, and then we can also combine it with other frameworks like Django and Web2Py to develop websites. So Python is very feasible. It's one of the most important programming language in the world. And let me state it clearly that Python is the second most widely used programming language used in the world after JavaScript. So we have other programming languages like JavaScript, Java, Swift, Kotlin, and other things. And Python is the second most widely used. So learning Python is very important, and will earn you a couple of opportunities. So just go straight to downloading the Python. So yes, we are on the official Python website, that is python.org. So when you search python.org, it will bring you to their website. So we have a couple of items that we need to do. We have here about, that is about the Python programming language. As you can see, we have a description that Python is a programming language that lets you work more quickly and integrate your systems more effectively. So that is a brief description they've given to the Python programming language. Now the next tab is the downloads tab. So you can also see that we have the latest download, that is download for Windows. So we have, you go to the downloads page, you click on the downloads and it takes you to the downloads page. Now the latest version for Windows is 3.10.1. Okay, that is the latest one they released. So every time, I think every 3 months or every 2 months, they update the Python programming language with different or advanced features. And then the current one we have, that is the latest version, is Python 3.10. Okay, so you will now click on the button download Python 3.10.1. I hope you are following along.
Yeah, I'm following, please.
Yeah, so you can see that it is downloading at the bottom of your browser. I already have it, so I wish I could pause, but for the purpose of the course, let me just conclude the downloads. Now, as Python is downloading, we also have one important feature that we also need to do. Now, this is the software. Now, to be able to type the code, that is the Python programming code, you need a text editor, and a text editor that will allow you to type the Python language. And with a text editor, not just any text editor, you know, we have Notepad as a text editor, we have the Microsoft Note as a text editor. But the text editor we need now is that we need a text editor with an IDE, which means IDE means Integrated Development Environment. And this text editor understands that when you type a Python code, it should interpret it into a Python language. When you type a JavaScript code, it should interpret it into a JavaScript program. So we need the text editor. So the text editor we are going to use right now, I'm going to allow you to download that text editor. So Python already comes with a Python a text editor, and you're going to use it. So let's now download, let's start the download for a text editor, then we will install Python, then we'll come back to this. So to install another text editor, let's just go to the text editor we are going to use is Microsoft Visual Studio Code. So we will now go to the official website. It is also free. So we'll go to the official website, that is code. Okay, you can just type Visual Studio Code, okay, and then it will bring you the link, Visual Studio Code. You can see that it has been shown here. Visual Studio Code. When you click on it, see that the link will come here. That is code.visualstudio.com. That is what I wanted to type, but let's come here, Visual Studio Code, and then we will click on the first link. I hope I'm not going so fast.
No, no, please.
So we will come to the Visual Studio Code official website, and then you can see the download button here. That is the stable build, that is stable version, the one which is very current. We will just click on it, and then it will also start the download. You can see from the bottom of your browser that it is downloaded. So Visual Studio Code is also downloading. Now, as it is downloading, I would like us to go through the installation of Python. So as Python has been downloaded on our browser, you can see it at the bottom of the browser. So what we are going to do is that we are just going to click on it, and then we will install it. Now, installing Python, you need to take absolute precaution. You need to follow along very keenly, else it may not work. If you miss a step, as we are going to do, it may not work. So now we will click on the downloads on our browser. Now it will open for us. Now you can see that it has opened for us. Hope you can see.
Yeah, I can see.
Yes. So it is asking us, do you want to run this file? Yes, you want to run it. So we click on the run. Then it will load up. Yes. Now you see that I already have it. So it is asking you, do I want to modify, repair, or uninstall it? Because I already have it. So I would like to uninstall it, and then I'll come back to install it so that you know the processes involved in installing it. So let me just click on uninstall so that it will remove everything from my machine. Then I will install it again. You can also look at the bottom of the browser that the Visual Studio Code has also finished downloading. I hope you're also downloading. That you'll be able to follow along the process. So I'm removing or uninstalling the Python software from my machine so that I'll be able to come to the installation. So I'll just put it here, and then I'll allow you to do the downloads. Go to the python.org to download the Python software, and then open another tab, and then go to Visual Studio Code website to also download Visual Studio Code. Mine has finished uninstalling, so I'll just close it. Okay, so now we'll click on the downloaded file, and then this one will open. So once I click, you also click, and then okay. So now you click on run. So when you click on run, you are going to see this screen, which is saying that install Python 3.10.1 64-bit. I hope you can see this. If you can see this one on your screen, don't click on anything yet. Come to the bottom and tick the box that says add Python 3.10 to path. That box is very, very important. If you don't click on it, the Python will not work. So click on that box to select add Python 3.10 to path. Okay, then click on install now. After you have ticked that box, make sure it is selected and click on install now. Now Python will just get installed in about 2 seconds. So as Python is installing, we will also install the Visual Studio Code. Now we can just put it aside and then click on the Visual Studio Code software that was downloaded, and also go through the same process. So you click on run. I hope you are following along. You click on the Visual Studio Code software that you downloaded, then you click on run. Okay, now setup was successful. I hope yours was also successful. So mine was successfully installed, so I'll just close it. Okay, then I'll come to, let me check the version of Python I have. So I'll just open my command prompt, the Windows command prompt. Then I'll just type Python. Now you can see that now it is giving me the information of the Python we have installed. Okay. Now, this Python was released on 6th December 2021. So that is the latest one we are using. It was released on December 6th, 2021. So if I type Python dash help, Python dash help, to just give me, oh, sorry. Let me exit and then Python dash help. See that it has given me the information about the software. So anything that we type here, it is giving us information about the things we can do whilst we are here. So a whole lot of information here. So if I type Python dash B, you see that it has given me information about Python. So this means that we have successfully installed Python on our system. So we just close. Now let's come to Visual Studio Code. Now you click on the Visual Studio that you downloaded. You are going to see this thing, this window. So now you click on I accept the agreement. You see that there are two buttons here. One says I do not accept the agreement. Then the first one said I accept. So you click on the I accept. Then you click on next. Then when you reach this place, select additional task. You can see that you have select additional task window. Yes, so tick all the boxes. Create a desktop icon, add open with code, add open with code action. All the boxes there, you must make sure that they are selected. And then the last section is install. Click on install and it will also get installed. So you click on finish so that it will open the Visual Studio Code for you. So this is the first. You have to set up the Visual Studio Code, how you want it to appear. Do you want the light mode or the dark mode or high contrast? So I use the dark mode. So you can also use the light mode. Any mode that you want, you can use it. For developers, we always use the dark mode. So you can also take all the boxes here. Then you click on go to next section. You can leave all these sections. Okay, you can leave them. It will still work. Okay. So let's go to next session. Let's click on mark done.
Okay.
Now we are done installing Visual Studio Code. Okay. Now after the installation, we need to get the Python extension also installed in our Visual Studio Code. So we'll come to the extensions panel. That is the last button on the left. You can see the last button, extension.
Yes.
So you click on it.
Extension. Yes.
Then type Python in the search box.
Okay.
You can see Python.
Yes.
The second one, that is the Python for Visual Studio Code. That is the extension.
Okay.
You click
The
on it.
second one.
Yes. You see the Python for VS Code.
Yes.
So you click on install. That is the next to it, so that it will also install. So you click on install. So the Python extension will also install. Now it has installed on my machine.
Okay. Yes. Mine too.
Okay. So now we will go home. We go to our. Now we have everything installed. Everything is set right now. So what you need to do right now is that you create a folder on your desktop and name it Python. Create a folder on your desktop and then name it Python so that you will put all your Python projects in it.
Okay.
Put all your Python projects, any project that you create, you put them in it so that you'll be able to track your progress. So I'll come here. I'll also do same. Create a folder. Then call it Python or Python project. Have you done that? Have you finished your folder?
Yes, please.
Okay, so
Yes.
we'll come back to Visual Studio Code, and then we will say we want to open a folder because we want to get all our files in that folder. Okay, put all our Python projects in that folder. So we'll come and then click on Open Folder link, the link that is there. Open folder, then we go to desktop and then select the Python project folder that we created. So you click on Open Folder, then you navigate to the Python project folder that you created. Yes, I trust. So now we are inside the Python project folder. So you can see that it is here, Python project, the name that you use for your folder. You can see Python project, that is the folder name at the left side, the Explorer panel. So all our projects will be kept in that Python project. So we are good to go. So now we can create our first Python program. Okay. And to do that, we have new file, we have open file. We use open file when we have already created the file. And then new file when we want to create a new file. Aside that, when we come to the Explorer panel, we also have other things here. The first button is new file button. The second one is new folder button. Okay.
Okay.
So we can click on the new file, and then it will create a place for us to type the name of the file we want to give to. So now let's call this one index. Okay. Index. And now since we are programming in Python, we need to add the Python extension to it. The Python extension is .py. Now you see that when you have pictures, they will say that maybe the picture name .jpeg or .png. The Python extension is also .py. So the extension is .py. So index.py. So you can see that once you add .py, it will change the symbol to the Python logo. You can see the Python logo.
Okay. Yes.
See, that is why this one is called Integrated Development Environment. If you do this one in Microsoft Word, it will not allow you to type Python codes. But because this one is integrated, it's an IDE. That's why it understands that .py means Python. And don't forget, we have installed the extension as well. So just click on enter, and then our file will be created for us. Now let's go to the desktop and open our Python folder. When we open our Python folder, you can see that we have index here. That means that our project was successfully created. So let's go back to Visual Studio Code that you'll be able to type. Okay, so now we are ready to type. Our Python code. Okay. Now, well, the first thing we are going to type is that let's find the first Python code that we always use. That is to print, then into bracket, print into bracket, double quotes, hello world. Okay. Now you can see that they have changed colors. That's what you are going to see. Anytime you type something, the IDE will give it a color to differentiate them from each code that you type. So we go through. So the first code we are typing is, we are printing hello world. And the print function is used to display items or whatever we type on the terminal. So this one, we are going to display the hello world word. It's a hello world word, like this one. Just, we want to see this on the terminal. Now you can see that when I type in empty space, it underlined it. It does not understand this. Okay. It does not understand. So that's why we need to put them in Python code. So to be able to understand it, we need to give it a Python function that is print. So we are going to print
Okay.
hello world. Now, after typing, you can see that there is a play button on top of the Python, of the IDE. So you type print hello world as I've typed in my studio code.
Please, I've done that.
Okay, then go to the play button and click on it. This is our first Python code. Now, what this is actually doing is that this is printing the hello world text in the terminal. Okay, for you, that means that that is what you have developed. That is what your software is able to do. Your software is able to print hello world. Okay, so you can try other messages. You can also print your name. Okay, so if they call you Samuel, you just type print Samuel, your name there. So, and then you click, you go back. Now, let's do something here so that we don't save it anytime we create. Let's go to file. Click on the file on the title bar. And come down to auto save.
Okay, auto save.
Yes, click on auto save. So anytime you make changes, the software, the Visual Studio Code will automatically save it so that you don't lose your work.
Okay.
So now let's come back again. Let's type anything. Print your name. Okay, print your own name in it and then click on the play button. So you see that it has printed hello world and then it has printed the name that we typed.
Yes.
Now, the reason is that Python execute programs from the top to the bottom. So if you have lines of code written, it will start executing them from the top until it gets to the last. So if you add another code here, that is print print course guide, it has already saved. So I click on it and then you see that it has also added it to it. Now it has printed hello world, Samuel Mensah course guide. Okay, can you see it? So
I can see.
If we turn this one into an exe file and install it on our Windows, anytime we open it, the only thing it will do is that it will tell us hello world, Samuel Mensah course guide. So we can create more advanced programs. So thank you for joining the class. If you enjoyed the class, make sure to follow us and apply to more of our advanced courses. We have practical computer classes in all courses that are displayed on the screen. We also have a website development, a complete website development course with Adobe Dreamweaver and a graphic design course with Adobe Photoshop 2021. Don't also forget that our 100 days of code program is also coming up. We would like you to join us as we bring you 100 days of coding that you'll be able to become a software developer. Thank you, and we'll meet in the next lesson.